Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a video on something I spent a good amount of time testing out today because, as I'm sure most of you know, Kabam is nerfing the revive farms in 3.6 and all the 3 points this April update. So I thought to myself, what can I do to maybe find a way to fix that a little bit, because I did pretty extensively read through the notes today, and it looks like this new quest, the patch notes they said about the patch, and it said the new quest they're giving us called the Apothecary is kind of like a, it's the same thing as the Catalyst Clash one, but you're going to be getting, I guess if you're doing hard mode, 1 revive, if you're doing easy, none, maybe some health, and then there's a very low chance to get another through the nodes. I believe I did the math. It's about 10. If you're going on hard mode, if you're easy, it's 2%. If you're going on hard mode, it's about a 10% chance every day to get an additional revive. So that's about a 70% chance that one of the days. 50% chance, because it's not on the weekends. It's only on the weekdays. It's important. 50% chance you're going to be getting an extra revive a day. So it's going to be 6 revives a week, which is pretty low. If it's even lower if you don't get that additional one, so it's gonna be 5 to 6 revives a week in a good week. So it's pretty low. So I went in to some old revive farms that I had before the 3.6 stuff came out and started testing some stuff, and I found something that I hope you guys are gonna like. I like it a lot. I think I've farmed 10 revives today in about 2-ish hours, so that's instead of 5 a week, that's 5 an hour, so that's pretty good. But there is a pretty specific way to do it, so I wanted to make a video and show you guys that. So without further ado, I'm going to start the video, and then I'm going to let y'all know the strategy that I used. So right here we have 5.3.6, which is, you got a revive there, and then, oh, screen recording saved. 2 full energy refills. So here's the thing with this one. You can sometimes get no revives. You can sometimes get 2. I've never seen 3, but you will almost always have an energy revive. Or an energy fill. So what I do in this is I go and I get both the energies, and as soon as I get them, I restart, which you're about to see right here. I restart the entire quest, because the energy refills are gone until I reset the quest. So I can get 2. Sometimes it's 1. That's fine too. I can get 2 of these energy refills, which is full energy, and then I go and get the revive and finish out the quest. And the revive is always on that final path, which I believe, unfortunately, is the most energy path. It is what it is. But if you get one of those energy refills, or both of them, sometimes there's 2, you're going to be able to do this infinitely. So even if there's not a revive on that path, you're going to be getting an energy refill, so you can restart the quest and then wait until you get a revive. Sometimes there's 2 revives, sometimes there's 1, sometimes there's none. It's just a roll of the dice. But if you do this correctly, you don't have to stop farming for revives. So if you've got a day where, I don't know, you're at the lake house and you're really bored or anything, and you've just got a day where you want to farm revives, you can just keep farming revives. There's no real upper limit to this strategy, especially if you come in with 1 energy refill of your own, because that way you can kind of account for, okay, crap, what if I only get 1 and then I lose a little bit of energy? But I think I've done it a bunch today. I now have 5 energy refills, and I have 10 revives that I just got by doing this over and over again. I tested it for about 2 hours today just to make sure that it was working pretty up to code, and it is. And what I like about this strategy is it's not as bountiful as the 3.6 one that we have right now. Obviously, they're nerfing it for a reason, but you don't have to stop doing it. As I said, like, you can just do this all day and you can get as many revives as you need. I wouldn't recommend it. Going outside is also very important, but you don't have an upper limit to how much you can do this. And also, if you do it right, like I'm showing you in this video, you can end up with bonus energy. And I mean bonus, when I say that, I mean more energy than you came in with, which is why you always want to have 1 energy refill on command, because if you do want to reset the path after getting an energy refill, it's usually going to take more than 70 energy. But it drops 2 energy refills frequently enough to where you're going to be ending up with an additional energy refill that you don't need. You don't need to complete the quest, and you just have. You can use that for anything. And then the more you stack, the more you can do this strategy over and over again and get the revives. So this path right here, I decided to just show it out because this is a weird quest. It's one of those Act 5 quests where you have to use a specific class or you get minus 50% attack. This one's the science quest, so you can't just go in there and Hercules. I mean, you probably could, but I wouldn't recommend it. It would probably take a while. And it's not fast. That's another thing about the strategy. It's not super fast, but it's fast enough compared to the apothecary where you're just getting a revive a day and it's costing you 48 energy. This is giving you energy and giving you as many revives as you want throughout the day. And I really want to stress that. It's as many as you want. As much as you have time for, you can farm these revives. So this is definitely going to be what I'm going to be doing after 3.6 ends, and I highly recommend that you all do it too. But there is a couple things I want to just let y'all know about this path, because if you do decide to run it as much as I'm running it, there's probably just a couple things you want to take note of. So the two lanes with the energy refills, which is always going to be, I believe, the top left and the top right, are always going to have the energy refills, or at least the full energy refills. They're pretty nodeless. One side of them is all mystics, and the other, I think, is a lot of cosmics, and then some science thrown in, if I'm correct. So Human Torch is really great for that mystic side, gets it done really quick, get the energy refill. The other side, you can pretty much use anybody. Recommend science so you don't get the minus 50 attack, but it's not super hard. But the lane that has the revive it's not hard because it's Act 5 and most people are so past that. Oh, I do want a disclaimer. Unfortunately, you can't do this unless you're uncollected or above, because this is Act 5.3.6. So it's after uncollected, which most people are. I mean, it's so easy to get past uncollected these days. Like, it used to be a thing. I remember when I first started playing, uncollected was like, oh yeah, I'm uncollected, and now it's kind of like, whatever, you're uncollected. Yeah, you do have to be uncollected to do this, but as I was saying, this lane that I'm showing off in the video right now, the one that has the revive on it, is a little bit tricky in the sense that they have the node, I'm forgetting the name, cornered. They have cornered, so if you use any DOT, you're kind of going to be in a little bit of a tight spot because they're going to gain that power super fast. Immortal Hulk works really well on this. Path. He doesn't, because he deals a good amount of damage. He's good for doing it quick and doesn't have any DOT. There's some fights Torch can work for, but Scorpion, I use him in this to show you just how bad he is for this path. Scorpion does not work. You would think kind of with the extra power they're going to be throwing more specials, but the thing is the power gain is so much heavier that they're actually going, like, you're not going to get enough rupture debuffs or shock or poison or power sting debuffs on them for it to really mean anything, and it's just slower. I use Mr. Fantastic because I'm a Mr. Fantastic believer. He's one of my favorite science champions. Here's a video with Torch real quick if you want to pay attention to that. It can be done, it's just a little janky, but he does bonus from the power reserve node, which is also on this, so it can be cheesed if you have a science champion like Torch that can cheese this. Good for you. Do that. But I'm showing you most of the videos with Fantastic because I feel like that's just a real, even if you have a 4-star Mr. Fantastic, it would be rough, but you could do this. If you have a 5-star, you could do this. So I didn't want to just go in there and Hercules it out, even though that probably would work, because there's just been so much Hercules lately that I kind of wanted to try something else. But see here with Torch, that stun is long enough. If you do a special 2, you can build enough power back to a special 2, and then you can kind of keep them stun locked, even though Torch does trigger the corner. But Mr. Fantastic is pretty perfect for this. They're going to lose their power back from the specials. They're going to throw the same special over and over again, making it super weak. He's super survivable. He has a good amount of damage. He's just a very, like, safe way to do this. He's a very safe, and, like, you're not going to have to stress about it while you're trying to farm for revives, which is what I like about it, because it kind of does remind me of that 3.6 where it's like I can pretty much put it on auto fight. Unfortunately, you can't put these fights on auto fight, or at least I can't. Maybe my roster's not good enough, just because they are Act 5 boss. They're Act 5 bosses. They have the special 3. They can screw you up. Scorpion dies really quickly here. I just wanted to show this off, how bad he is for this path. The special 2 does a good amount of damage, but he's just really, like, he gives them too much power. He's not great for this now. But yeah, it is a little bit more difficult, but I would almost argue more rewarding, because you do get the energy refills. It takes more time, but you can do it as much as you want. You can get those energy refills. Like, I have 5 bonus energy refills that I just did from today, and I started off with just the 1. So I'd say a little bit more rewarding, but a lot more time consuming. Like, you're not just going to be able to go in and out. This does take some time, but it is worth it. And I think compared to the other option we have, the Apothecary, which is the thing that's coming, this is how you're going to want to farm revives. There's also the Venom quest, but that doesn't really have revives very often. I ran it over like 3 or 4 times and I didn't see a single revive, where in this, I think there wasn't a revive on my path twice, and I've run it 12 times, maybe one, give or take one. So this is probably the way you're going to want to farm revives from now. I found it very effective. And the important thing to note here, I probably should have said this earlier in the video, but I'll say it now. Kabam is only nerfing the revives from Act 1 to 3. So this is going to be safe. Any other thing past Act 3 you have to farm revives is going to be safe. I do think this is the best. I think this is probably the simplest way to do it, the most rewarding way to do it. But if you have something that you prefer and it's past Act 3, you're going to be fine. They're only doing the Act 3 ones because people can auto-fight it, and people can really just spam it for the revives if they have the energy refills. So that's what Kabam's doing. I don't agree with it at all. I think it's stupid. I get into that in my Hercules video if you want to check that out, about why people are blaming Hercules. But it is their game. And as long as they are going to make decisions like this, and I'm still going to play their game, I'm going to try to find ways around it and let you know about them. So this is definitely what I'd recommend. There's really nothing super tricky about this. Don't bring a DOT champion. Mr. Fantastic's great for it if you want to use Mr. Fantastic. I love Mr. Fantastic. Immortal Hulk, another great option, especially if you have him higher than a 5-star, because I did try it with my 5-star a couple times. I tried it after I make this video, and it went fine. It was just a little slow. It was almost slower than Mr. Fantastic, and there were some like kind of iffy things with the power back nodes where they would get power too fast and then hit me when I was at immortality. I'd take block damage and I'd die, because that is Immortal Hulk. I love him. He was one of my favorite champions, but he is very iffy just as a champion, because he can get knocked out when he has that immortality on cooldown. Cool synergy with Hercules. He has 100% perfect block chance on his immortality cooldown, which is really cool. So check that out if you haven't already. But I do like Immortal Hulk. I just recommend Mr. Fantastic because it's super safe. You can turn your brain off, you can watch TV, and then you can just farm revives for as long as you want. I'm trying to think if there's anything else y'all need to know danger-wise on this. Not really. I mean, there is some tricky Mystic Defenders on the top right path where you get one of the energy revives. I would just say if you don't have Torch, look at the Defenders, try to, plan around them, but none of them are super tough. There is a Dormammu, who will obviously degen you when your buffs expire, but I didn't notice it really. I mean, I had a rank 3 Torch, so pretty much any rank 3 is going to power through that. But you really do want to focus Science. The Science class is going to be the class that's not going to take the attack penalty. Again, I didn't do it with Hercules because I'm kind of tired of using Hercules for everything in every video, featuring Hercules. But you could do it with Hercules. You could probably do it pretty comfortably with Hercules if you wanted. His damage is high enough to where you're not going to notice really the 50% nerf. However, it can be a little iffy with some of the Mystics. They'll nullify his immortality if you're just relying on that in a special too. If you want to have fun, or if you want to just worry about it less, use Mr. Fantastic, use a Science Champion, but you totally could use Hercules if you want. You could probably use it just about anyone if they're above rank 3, because when Act 5 was made, they weren't, they probably had it planned, but they weren't taking into account 6-star rank 3 champions, right? Like, they were thinking about 5-star rank 3, 5-star rank 4. So the power level is really low, and you don't really have to work very hard to do this. It just takes time. And that's the key thing about this whole thing. Time, right? Like, you could do Act 3 in 5 minutes and get your revive and call it a day. This probably takes more like, I won't say 15, but 10 to 5 per run. So you're gonna, or 5 to 10. So you're gonna double how long it's taking you to get the same rewards. There is a little bit of a, there's a little bit of a bonus in the energy as well. You're pretty much getting unlimited energy through this strategy, which also takes time. But it's not really worth the time for me, because it's 5 extra minutes for an energy revive, which sounds good on paper, but it's like you're having to do it over and over again when you could probably be getting 3-4 revives in the time it takes you to get 2 here. So I do like this strategy. I prefer 3.6 for now. That's probably what I'm going to do until they nerf it, but this is the best. This is going to be the best thing for people to do once they nerf 3.6 and all the others. You're going to get, within an hour to 2, half the revives you would in 3.6, but you're also going to get energy. It's just worth it. This is the way to go. I'd stand pretty firm on that. I'm very comfortable being proven wrong. If anybody in the comments has a different revive spot they want to share with me, I will totally check it out and maybe even make a video on it if it's if it can prove better than this. But from what I've seen, and I've done about pretty much every revive spot I could think of, this is going to be probably the new meta for getting revives when you don't want to spend money. At least for me, maybe for others, I don't know. But I am happy to check some stuff out. If you want to leave some sites in the comments I can check out, I'll happily check them out and make an addendum if I do find that it's a little easier than this. But essentially, nobody's happy about the revive nerf. I don't think anybody except Kabam thinks this is a good idea. I do understand where they're coming from, as I always try to. I get it. I see it, but at the end of the day, we're just trying to make the best of with a bad batch that we got here. So, try this. If it doesn't work out for you, try something else. I'm happy to take a look at it. Just reset the thing. I have a different team because this is when I was trying Immortal Hulk, but you can see here, this is a pretty perfect situation. 2 energy refills and 2 revives. And that can happen. You can get a lot of revives from this, but at the end of the day, it's just not as good as 3.6. Thank you all very much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching my videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you can. Every little bit helps. Have a great night, y'all. I'll see you next time.